All right, so starting in child's pose, let yourself settle in, knees wide, feet together, and then sit your hips back to your heels. Walk the hands out in front of you, let the forehead come to the mat. And just give yourself a few moments first to settle in. Observe how the body feels right now. Notice if you can make the hips a little heavier, if you can maybe walk the fingertips forward a little more to let the chest sink down. Taking a few breaths here to deepen the breath, extending the length of time it takes to breathe in and out. With each exhale, letting go of a distraction, an extra thought. Just about 3 more breaths here. On your next inhale, make your way to a tabletop position just for a moment. We'll take our right leg back behind us and cross the right thigh behind the left thigh, letting the knee come to the mat, like as if you're making a shoelace position with the legs. The feet will move apart slightly, then sit the hips back down towards the heels. So now you're just finding a little hip opener. Your hips don't have to touch the floor here. It's totally fine if they don't, they can hover. And if you want a little more, you can tiptoe your fingers over to the left side. Find a little side bend. The right hand can stack on top of the left. The right hip can stay really heavy towards the floor. And take a few breaths right here, breathing into the tight spots in the hips and back. One more breath. Gently tiptoe the fingers back to center. Inhale back to your knees. And unwinding the legs, we'll just find the same shape on the other side. So moving back through your tabletop position, left leg comes behind us to cross behind the right. The leg will land on the outside of that right calf. The feet move apart and sit the hips back towards the heels. Again, they might not touch. This side might be a little tighter. It might feel looser. Once you find the shape with the lower body, you might tiptoe your fingers over to the right. And sitting the left hip deep down towards the floor. Maybe stack left hand on top of right if that feels good. Couple more breaths right here. And gently tiptoe your fingers back to center. Inhale back to your hands and knees and uncross the legs. This time just finding your tabletop position. Check that the hands are underneath the shoulders, the knees are right underneath the hips. Moving into cow and cat. Inhale, drop the belly, bring the gaze high to the sky, really open through the front. Then exhale, curl into your cat. Feel the front of the body contract, the hands press into the floor. Inhale, drop the belly, bring the gaze high again. Feel the collarbone expand. And exhale, curl into your cat, belly button into the spine, shins press into the floor. One more round. Inhale, drop the belly, bring the gaze high. And then exhale, curl into your cat. Come back to a neutral spine. Reach your right fingertips forward, left leg back. Finding your balance here, making sure the core is active as you inhale. Then exhale, elbow to knee underneath you. Find your little crunch. Inhale, extend everything long. Exhale, contract. Press the left hand into the floor. Inhale, extend. Exhale, contract. One more time. Then inhale, extend. Let the left toes and the right hand come to the floor, so the left leg is still long behind you. Carry it to the side of the body, finding your gate latched legs. As you inhale, bring your arms up to a capital T shape, stacking the shoulders right over the hips. As you exhale, left hand comes to the left leg, right fingertips reach up and over, finding your first really big side bend of the class. Really focusing into breathing into the right side of the ribs as you constantly reach the right fingertips over. One more round of breath here. As you inhale, move back through that capital T shape using the right obliques. Then exhale, right hand comes to the floor, left arm sweeps across the body. Finding a side bend here, maybe you spiral into a back bend a little bit. Take about one more full round of breath. Now initiating from your left oblique, start to bring yourself back to your capital T as you inhale. Then exhale, hands come down to the floor. From here, just gently bring your left leg back behind you and then let your knee come down, finding your tabletop position once more. We'll do the same thing to the other side. So left fingertips reach forward, right leg reaches back. Establish your balance here as you inhale, core is strong. Then exhale, contract underneath you, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend everything long. Exhale, contract, really curve through the spine. Inhale, extend. Exhale, contract. And then inhale, extend, toes come to the floor, left hand under the shoulder, right leg carries all the way to the side of the body, finding your gate legs here. Inhale, bring yourself up to your capital T shape, shoulders right over the hips. And then exhale, right hand to right leg, left fingertips reach up and over. Finding that deep side bend here, maybe observing if this side's tighter or looser. Trying to breathe into the left side of the rib cage as you keep reaching the fingertips up and over. One more breath. Inhale, left obliques, bring you all the way up through your capital T. And then exhale, left hand comes to the floor, right arm sweeps over. Maybe look up towards that right hand, maybe find a little back bend, shining the heart to the ceiling. And take about one more breath right here. As you inhale, right obliques bring you all the way back up to center. And then exhale, hands come down to the floor, under the shoulders. Right leg carries all the way to the back, and then the knee comes down. From here, as you inhale, tuck your toes, then exhale, send the hips high, downward dog. You can take a few moments in this downward dog, doing whatever you need. Maybe you pedal out the feet, maybe you bend the knees to feel the fronts of the ankles start to move a little. Take about 2 more breaths here, taking whatever movement feels good. After that second breath, find some stillness in your down dog. So both heels lengthen towards the floor, the legs activate, and the palms and all 10 fingers press into the mat to find a more open front of the shoulder. One round of breath here, feel the heels get a little closer to the floor on your exhale. Now bring your gaze forward, start to walk your feet to the top of your mat, finding your rag doll. Feet and hip width distance, generous bend in the knees, let the torso hang heavy over the thighs. You might grab opposite elbows, you might interlace your fingers behind the head, do whatever feels best right now. The focus of this is less of a back of the leg stretch and more about lengthening the spine towards the floor. 2 more rounds of breath right here, maybe you sway side to side, shake the head yes and no. One more deep inhale. And exhale, gently release the arms. Start to roll up through the spine nice and slow. Let your head be the last thing to come up. Once you arrive, take a big shoulder roll up and back, expand through the front, and step the feet together underneath you, finding your standing mountain pose, Tadasana. Arms reach down by the sides. Feel both sides of the body lengthen, separating the rib cage from the hips. As you inhale, reach the arms high, let your gaze follow. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Bow your chin, close your eyes, set an intention for your practice this morning. Whatever you would like to focus your mind on throughout this hour. And we'll seal that intention with a breath. Deep inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Seal the lips, breathe in and out through the nose. Find your Ujjayi breath. Create the little constriction at the back of the throat that starts to create an oceanic sound. You have 3 Ujjayi breaths here to start to heat the body up from the inside out. One more breath. Gently blink your eyes open, moving into our Sun A. As you inhale, reach the arms high, let the gaze follow. Right hand grabs the left wrist, and exhale, bend over to the right, finding a deep side bend here. Try to keep the back bend out of the body, so we have the core contracted. The hips can send a little to the left as the arms reach to the right. On your next inhale, use your left obliques to bring you back to center, switch your grip. And then exhale, bend over to the left. Same thing, keep the core active, broaden the back, and expand through the right side of the rib cage. Next inhale, core brings you back to center. Exhale is a gentle back bend. Maybe cactus the arms, shine the heart to the ceiling. Inhale, reach the arms high one more time. Then exhale, hinge forward from the hips, forward fold. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen the crown of your head to the front of the room. Then exhale, plant the palms, step back into your high plank. From here, shifting into our side plank, left side is our base, keeping the feet staggered for this one. So just pivoting onto the outside of your left foot, right fingertips reach to the ceiling. If you want a little more, you can stack the right foot on top of left, but since it's our first one, you can always keep them separated. Take just one more inhale here. Exhale back to your high plank. Inhale, shift the weight forward, knees can be up or down. As you exhale, lower with control all the way down to your belly. Keep the elbows hugging into the body. Untuck the toes once you arrive. Inhale, find a baby cobra. Lift just the top part of the chest off the floor. The tops of the feet press into the floor and the elbows hug into the body. On an exhale, gently release the chest down. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, baby cobra, maybe lift a little higher. And exhale, release it down. One more inhale, baby cobra. Maybe hover the hands off the mat. Make sure the feet are still down. And then exhale, release to the floor. Inhale, press through your tabletop position, all fours. Then exhale, tuck the toes, send the hips high, downward dog. You have 3 full Ujjayi breaths here. One more breath. Bring your gaze forward, gently step your feet to the top of the mat, toes come to touch underneath you. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up to the sky, right hand grabs the left wrist, and this time just point your right toes out to the side of your body. It can be like a little kickstand. As you exhale, bend over towards that right leg. Maybe bring your right hands to the outside of the right leg so that you can bend over even more. So that hand is your support, so you might reach the fingertips. Take one more round of breath right here. Now as you inhale, let the left fingertips come up. Right hand meets the left and feet come back together. Gently step your left leg out to the side, create your little kickstand. Left hand comes to the side of the leg and exhale, bend over to the left. So noticing how when you have the support on that side, you can reach a little bit more. One more round of breath right here. On your next inhale, use the obliques to bring you back to standing. Both fingertips reach high, your feet come together. Then exhale, hinge forward from the hips, forward fold. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen the spine. And exhale, plant the palms, step back to your high plank. As we inhale, we're finding our side plank again. Right side is our base this time. So coming to the outside of your right foot, reaching the left fingertips high. Feet can be staggered, or for a little extra challenge, you can stack your left foot on top of the right. Make sure you're using the right obliques. Take one more inhale here. As you exhale, come back to your high plank. Inhale, shift forward, knees up or down. And then exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Control with the arms. Untucking the toes once you get there. Inhale, baby cobra. Now this time, keeping the chest lifted, gently reach the right leg off the floor. Then exhale, right leg comes down. Your chest is still lifted. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, lower it down. One more round. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left leg. and exhale, lower. Take one more inhale, lift the chest a little higher, maybe hover the hands, then exhale, release down to the mat. Inhale, press through your tabletop position, all fours, then exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. Take two more full Ujjayi breaths right here. Bring the gaze forward, step your feet to the top of the mat, toes come to touch underneath you. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana, bend the legs, reach the arms down and up. Sit the hips down nice and low. We're keeping our chair simple today. So maybe peek down at your toes. Make sure you can see them. That involves shifting the weight back towards the heels. Make sure the core is active and the shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. Take one more inhale, sit a little bit deeper in your chair. And then exhale, forward fold, release over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, left foot steps back, setting up for warrior one. Bend nice and deep into that right leg, and inhale, reach the arms up. Checking on our form in this first warrior one, pull the right hip back, left hip forward. See if you can take out a little bit of the arch in your lumbar spine to engage the core. Take another inhale, maybe find a back bend, shining the heart to the ceiling. Then exhale, hands come down to the floor to frame your right foot. You're in your low lunge. Inhale, step back to your high plank. Then as you exhale, come down to your forearm plank. So lowering one elbow at a time. Now from here, we find our side plank again. Left side is our base. So pivoting on that elbow, come to the outside of your left foot. Reach the right fingertips high. Once you establish that side plank, maybe you lift the right leg off the floor for a little extra challenge. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale back to your forearm plank in the middle, both forearms on the floor. One inhale here. And then exhale, lower the hips down, Sphinx pose. Elbows are right underneath the shoulders and make this incredibly active. So you're lifting the belly button off the floor. You're constantly dragging the chest through the arms and pressing the tops of the feet into the floor. Take about two more breaths right here. Final inhale. And exhale, release the chest down. Bring the hands by the sides of the rib cage. Inhale, press through your tabletop position. And exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. Hips go nice and high. One Ujjayi breath right here. Bring your gaze forward, step your feet to the top of the mat, toes come to touch. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen the spine. And exhale, right foot steps back, setting up for warrior one on the opposite side. Bend nice and deep into that left leg. Inhale, reach the arms up. Check that the hips are square, lengthening in the front of the body and back of the body. Take an inhale, gentle back bend, heart shines to the ceiling. Then exhale, hands come down to frame the foot, low lunge. Inhale, step back to your high plank. And exhale, forearm plank. Come back down to those elbows, keep it nice and strong. As we inhale, we find our opposite side plank. Right side is our base, so pivoting to the outside of that right foot, left fingertips reach high. Once you arrive, maybe lift your left leg for an extra challenge. Imagine pressing the floor away from you with that right elbow. One more inhale here. And exhale, forearm plank, both arms on the floor. One inhale. And exhale, down into your Sphinx pose once more. Let the hips come down. We're holding here just for one round of breath. See if you can find that activity right away in the body. Final inhale. And exhale, release the chest down. Bring the hands by the sides of the rib cage. Inhale, press through your tabletop position. And exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. One full round of breath. Bring your gaze forward, step the feet to the top of the mat. Feet come together underneath you. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose again, Utkatasana. Bend nice and deep into the legs, sit nice and low. See if you can shift your weight back a little more. On an exhale, we find Ardha Utkatasana, just bringing the chest low, reaching the fingertips back. Make sure you're not resting the belly on the thighs. We're hovering here. The triceps are really active, keeping the arms long behind you. On your next inhale, reach both hands high again, back into your Utkatasana. And then exhale, forward fold, release over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. And exhale, left foot steps back, setting up for warrior one again. Inhale, reach the arms high, bend nice and deep into that right leg. Now as you exhale, we find warrior two today. So finding a capital T in the arms. You might need to widen the stance in your legs slightly. Make sure the outside of the left foot's parallel to the back of your mat. As you inhale, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, reach those right fingertips up and back. You get one full breath here to work on your side bend. Now checking that you're still bending nice and deep into your right leg. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the foot, finding your low lunge. Let the left knee come down to the mat, untuck the toes behind you, and inhale, reach the arms up, Anjaneyasana. Drop the hips down nice and low, feel that stretch in the front of your left hip. Take one more inhale, maybe find a gentle back bend. Then exhale, right arm back, left arm forward, finding a little twist here. Bring the right hand to the back of the left leg. Inhale, reach the left fingertips up and back, finding your exalted position here. You should feel a deeper stretch in the front of your left leg, maybe even moving up into the front of the torso. One more inhale here, bend a little more on your exhale. Next inhale, come back up to your Anjaneyasana. This time we're doing a side bend. So as you exhale, right hand comes to the outside of the right leg. Left fingertips reach up and over, really reaching over to that right side. Try to keep your left hip heavy though, so the hips don't move with the torso. One round of breath here. Inhale, bring yourself back up to center, both arms reach high. And exhale, half split, shift the weight back towards the left leg, straighten the right leg, flexing the toes towards the face. Make sure your right hip pulls up and back, particularly the right pinky toes as well. You should feel a nice stretch into the hamstring and the calves. Make sure the spine is really long here, so we're not rounding over the leg. We have 3 full breaths. Final round of breath. Inhale, start to bend into your right leg, bringing both hands inside of the right foot for our lizard. So toe heel the right foot outward slightly. You can stay on your hands. You can also come down to your forearms. If you feel like grabbing the foot today, you can always find that quad stretch as well. We have 3 full breaths in whichever lizard you choose to take. Final round of breath. Gently start to come back to your hands if you were anywhere else. Toe heel your right foot in between your 2 hands. Tuck your left toes, engage the legs so the kneecap comes off the mat. Inhale, shift your weight forward, straightening your right leg, lift the left leg to 90 degrees. Maybe you start to hover your fingertips off the floor, not coming to a full warrior 3, but just finding that engagement in our standing leg as well as our leg that's in the air. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, forward fold. Left foot meets the right, let the torso release over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. And exhale, right foot steps back, setting up for warrior 1. Make sure you bend nice and deep into the left leg. Inhale, reach the arms up. Squaring everything off, also the upper body, so that right shoulder's forward, left shoulder's back. Take one more inhale here. And exhale, warrior 2, pivoting, making sure that that right foot moves back a little bit. We usually need that wider stance for warrior 2. Make sure your left outer hip is engaged, so knee towards the pinky toe. Inhale, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, reach it up and back. Remember, you have 1 full breath here to work into this side bend. Make sure the left leg is still bending nice and deep in opposition to the reach though. Final inhale. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the foot, finding your low lunge. Let the right knee come down, untuck the toes behind you, and inhale, reach the arms up, Anjaneyasana. Maybe you exhale into a back bend for a moment, finding that length in the front of the body. One more inhale. And then exhale, left arm back, right arm forward, twisting towards your front leg. Left hand comes to the back of the right leg. Inhale, exalt, right fingertips reach up and back, finding that really deep stretch all along the right side of the body. One more inhale here, one more exhale here. Inhale, start to bring yourself back up to center, both arms reach high. Exhale, left hand comes to the outside of the left leg, right fingertips reach over into your side bend. This time imagine breathing into the right side of your rib cage, see if you don't tip yourself over to the left. So we try to still keep our equal weight between sides. One more round of breath right here. Inhale, bring yourself back up to center with the right obliques. Then exhale, half split. Shift your weight back to the left leg or right leg. Straighten the left leg, toes pull back towards the face. Left hip pulls up and back, find length through your spine. Each exhale is a chance to fold a little bit more. And don't be shy about using those arms. However much you bend them can help control how much you fold over the leg. 3 breaths here. One more breath. Inhale, start to bend into your left leg, finding our lizard. So both hands inside of the foot, toe heel the foot outward slightly, and then take whichever variation you took on your first side. So maybe it's elbows, maybe you stay on the hands, maybe you grab the foot. And do whatever you need. We have another 3 full breaths here. Make sure you still have your Ujjayi breath. Gently start to come back to the hands if you were anywhere else. Toe heel your left foot back in between your 2 hands. Tuck the right toes, engage that leg. Inhale, shift your weight forward, lift the right leg to 90 degrees, engage the back of the body. Maybe you start to hover the fingertips off the floor just to find strength in that standing leg. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, forward fold. Right foot meets the left, release over the legs. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen the spine. And exhale, downward dog. Plant the hands, step the feet back, hips are nice and high. We take 3 cleansing breaths right here before we move on. So deep inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Last one, inhale. And exhale, let it go. Seal the lips, find your Ujjayi breath once more. On your next inhale, reach your right leg high. Open the hips, bend the knee. Take a moment here to just stretch through the front of that leg. Make sure your shoulders and hands stay square to the floor. On your next inhale, straighten the legs, square off the hips. And exhale, step through between the hands. Setting up for crescent this time, so left heel presses forward. As we inhale, we bring the arms up. As you exhale, find your warrior 2. This should come pretty easy since we've been here once before. Inhale, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, reach up and back. And then as we exhale, we move right into our extended side angle. So right elbow comes to that knee, left arm sweeps across the body and forward. Now today, since we're working on side body engagement, we're gonna work on not utilizing that bottom hand. So start to find length through both sides of your torso, particularly your left obliques and the left side of the body. Without changing anything in the torso, see if you can start to reach your right fingertips forward so that your right arm is parallel to your left arm. That's the hard part. We get to hold this for 1 full breath. Now, as you inhale, without using the arms, bring your torso all the way upright to your star pose. So both legs straighten, heels come in, toes go out. As we exhale, find our goddess. So bend both legs, bring the hands to heart center. Make sure the knees are pointing out over the toes. Now we'll just bring the fingertips behind the ears to have the elbows point to the side, kind of like we're doing a bicycle. Nice. As we exhale, bring your right elbow towards your right thigh. So find a side bend here using the obliques. As you inhale, left obliques bring you up to center. And then exhale, left elbow to left thigh, finding your side bend in the opposite direction. Inhale, right obliques bring you back to center. Couple more rounds of that. Exhale, right elbow down. Inhale back to center. Exhale, left elbow. And inhale, back to center. Straighten the legs, reach the arms high, pivot the toes so they set face forward now, setting up for our Prasarita. Hands come to the hips and inhale, open up through the heart. And exhale, fold forward over the legs. Let the arms release down to the floor, walking the hands back between the feet. Fingertips stay pointed forward. Imagine you're making chaturanga with the arms, so the elbows point to the back. See if you can relax the back of your neck so the crown of the head sinks closer to the floor. Maybe shift your weight towards the toes a little bit to help stack the hips over the ankles. We have 3 full breaths here. One more breath. On your next inhale, start to walk the hands back underneath you, finding a halfway lift, so coming to the fingertips. Bring your hands to your hips and come all the way up to standing. From here, we pivot the right toes to face the front of the mat, setting up for our triangle. If you need to narrow the stance of the feet, you can feel free to do that. Arms come to your capital T. As you inhale, start to reach the right fingertips forward, left hip back, then exhale, tip into your Trikonasana. Now we're going to employ the same concept here that we found in our extended side angle, so this makes it really hard. From here, reach your left fingertips forward so the arm is reaching over your head like you would an extended side angle. From here, see if you can start to take some weight out of the right hand as you contract the left side of your body. Now reach your right fingertips forward so that both arms are parallel. Keep spiraling the left side open over the right. Use the obliques. One more inhale here. As you exhale, find your normal triangle arms again. So right fingertips to the floor, left to the ceiling. Shift your gaze down towards your right foot. As you inhale, shift into your half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. So bend that right leg, lift your left leg off the floor as you shift forward. Try to keep the same level of contraction in both sides of your body. And notice if that helps your half moon. Usually it will. Maybe see if you can hover your right fingertips off the floor. You have one more inhale here. Exhale, extended side angle. So let the right knee bend. Left leg lands behind you. Right elbow to the thigh. Nice, everyone. Inhale, come back up to your warrior 2. Then move all the way into your reverse warrior. So right fingertips reach all the way back. Then exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the right foot. Step the right foot back, downward dog. Take just 2 breaths in this downward dog, finding your Ujjayi. On your next inhale, left leg reaches high. Open the hips, bend the knee, take a moment here, whatever you need. Some movement in the left leg if that feels good. Then on your next inhale, straighten the legs, square off the hips. And exhale, step through between the hands. Right heel presses forward. Inhale, reach the arms up, crescent lunge. Make sure the hips are square. You're pressing into that front leg. One more inhale, maybe a little back bend. And then exhale, warrior 2. Capital T in the arms, gaze over those left fingertips. Inhale, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, reach the left fingertips up and back. And then exhale, extended side angle, elbow to the knee, right arm sweeps across. Now, right away, starting to engage the right side of your body. So finding that little rib to hip connection as you lengthen the bottom side. Now start to remove weight from your left hand and see if you can bring your left arm parallel to your right. The torso doesn't come up anymore. We use the muscles more. One round of breath. Inhale, use your right obliques to bring the torso all the way upright for our star pose. So both legs come straight, heels in, toes out. As you exhale, goddess, bend the legs, drop the hips low. Bring the hands behind the ears for a second round of these oblique crunches. Take an inhale. Then exhale, left elbow to left thigh. Find that side bend. Inhale, right obliques bring you to center. Then exhale, right elbow down. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left elbow. Inhale, center. Exhale, right elbow. And then inhale, back to center. Straighten the legs. Reach the arms high as you pivot the toes to face the side of your mat. So parallel feet.
As you exhale, bring the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Inhale, reach the arms down as you lift the heart to the ceiling. Then exhale, fold forward over the legs. Second Prasarita variation here. Let the crown of the head release towards the floor. Imagine the hands touching the floor behind the head. Make sure the weight is shifted into the toes. We have 3 breaths here. Bring your hands back towards your tailbone first. Then release your bind, bringing the hands to the floor underneath your head. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Bring your hands to your hips, come all the way up to standing. Pivot your left toes to face the front of your mat. Narrow your stance if you need. We're setting up for a triangle on this side. Arms come to a capital T shape. Inhale, start to reach your fingertips forward as the hips reach back. And then exhale, tip into your triangle. So right away, not putting too much weight in that left hand, knowing where we're going from here. Find a contraction in your right side so that the side of your body is almost parallel to the floor. So we have a very horizontal torso. From here, reach your right fingertips over your head as if you were in extended side angle. Now start to reach your left fingertips forward to parallel the arms. This is a lot of work for that right side. Take 1 full round of breath. Final inhale. Exhale, regular triangle arms. Left hand comes down, right fingertips up. Shift your gaze down to your left foot and inhale, shift your weight forward, half move. Lift that right leg off the mat. See if you can keep the same contraction in the right side of your body. Notice how that makes it a lot easier to potentially hover the left fingertips. Take just 1 more inhale here. Exhale, extended side angle. Bend that left leg. Right leg lands behind you. Right fingertips reach overhead. Inhale, move through your warrior 2 to reverse your warrior. Left fingertips reach up and back. Then exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame your left foot. And inhale, hips go high, downward dog. You have 3 breaths here of whatever kind you want. So you can take cleansing or ujjayi. Nice deep inhales, nice deep exhales. 2 more breaths. Bring your gaze forward. You can step or hop your feet to your malasana, your yogi squat. So bringing the feet to around mat width distance. Heels are in, toes are out. Bend the knees nice and deep and drop the hips. If you want to stick a block under your tailbone for some more support, I encourage that. We'll be here for around 5 breaths. Just a nice chance to open the hips a little bit more. You can use the elbows to press the knees open. Imagine the tailbone is really heavy and your crown of the head is simultaneously reaching to the ceiling, so you're finding a stretch through your spine. You have about 4 more breaths. Two more breaths. Final inhale. Exhale, gently release your hands to the floor, straighten through the legs, and parallel the feet for a moment. You can take a little cha-cha if you want, just bending one leg then the other, releasing the pressure through the knees and hips. And then toe heel your feet back together underneath you, finding your forward fold. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, stand all the way up, reaching the arms high. And then exhale, hands come to center. Today we get to work into our tree pose, particularly our side bending tree. So from here, hands stay at heart center to start. Just bending your right leg and then finding external rotation. Now remembering there are different heights you can take this to. So toes can either stay on the floor, they can come to your calf, or you can bring your foot all the way up to your inner thigh. From here, take a moment to just establish your balance, particularly the pressure of the left leg into the right foot and right foot into left leg. The more equal pressure you use, the easier it is to stay balanced. From here, maybe you grow your branches, keep your drishti strong, that gaze. Now working into our side bend, let your right hand come to your right thigh. Before you do anything, press that hand into the thigh. Notice how it helps stabilize you. Now as you inhale, start to reach your left fingertips up and over to the right side And however far you reach the hand, you have to press the hips to the left. So we're working in constant opposition here. That right hand is our support on that right leg. Keep the oblique strong. So think the engagement we had in our triangle and extended side angle we use here. Take one more round of breath. Now coming out is just as hard. You have to move your left hand and your hips at the same rate. Once you reach your body back to center, both fingertips reach high. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, draw your right knee into your chest. Then exhale, right foot meets the left, just standing in Samasthiti. Taking a moment here, you can shake out the left leg if you need. Regain your Ujjayi breath. Now we get to go to the other side. So bend that left leg, find your external rotation in the leg. Then take your foot to whatever height you did on the first side. First, we establish that pressure of left foot to right leg to left foot. Keep that oppositional force. Establish your drishti focal point and maybe grow your branches. From here, that left hand comes to the left thigh. Press into that thigh. Notice how it helps stabilize you. As you inhale, we start to reach the right fingertips over to the left as your right hip moves to the right. You have to keep it all very synchronized and coordinated. Keep pressing the left hand into the left thigh. That's your support. Once you find your side bend, you have a full breath in it. As you inhale, we start to make our way out, releasing all of our bending and pressing at the same rate. Once you come out, both fingertips reach high. Then exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, left knee into the chest. And exhale, release it down. Good work, you guys. Take a moment in this Samasthiti, maybe even close your eyes, regaining the breath. And gently blink your eyes open. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. This is only a transition, so start to sit your hips nice and low. The chest will start to hover over the thighs as the hands reach forward. Then eventually you'll sit the hips all the way down to the mat. Nice work, you guys. Straighten the legs out in front of you, setting up for Paschimottanasana, our forward fold. So flex the feet, draw the legs together. Inhale, reach the arms high, lengthen the spine. And exhale, keep the length as you fold over the legs. If you can grab your feet, maybe grab around the outsides and pull your pinky toes back towards you. So finding that slight pivot of the ankle so that you get a better stretch in your legs. Use your arms to actively pull you forward wherever you are. The core is still strong, the legs are strong. We have 4 more breaths right here. Final inhale. Exhale, gently release your feet, sit all the way up. And draw your right knee into your chest. Cross the right foot to the outside of the left thigh for our seated twist. You can either keep the left leg long or bend it underneath you, whichever feels good. From here, the right hand comes behind the tailbone, left fingertips reach up and then cross to the outside of the right leg to hook the elbow. Once you have your arms, inhale, find length. Imagine you're separating all your vertebrae. Then exhale, start to gaze over your right shoulder, increasing your twist. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Final inhale. And exhale, gently release your twist. Bring your hands to the opposite side. Baby push up just as a counter. Then gently press through the arms, bringing yourself back up. Straighten your left leg and keep your right leg bent. Just bring the foot to the inner thigh. So we're setting up for our revolved Janu Shirshasana, so a really deep side bend. Let your left hand come inside of your left leg, sliding to the elbow if it's available. Inhale, reach your right fingertips up, open your chest towards the side, and then exhale, start to reach them up and over. You might grab for that left foot if it's available. If not, just keep reaching, finding length through the right side of the body and making the right hip heavy towards the floor. We have 3 full breaths right here. On your next inhale, let the fingertips guide you all the way upright. Let the right hand land behind the right glute and shift your weight to your gate latch, sweeping the left arm across and back. Notice that you might be able to find a deeper back bend this time around. Take another inhale. And exhale, come back the way you went in, sitting the hip down and straightening both legs out in front of you. And moving into our other side of our seated twist. So draw the left leg in towards you, cross the foot to the outside of the thigh, bend the right leg if you did it on the first side. Left hand comes behind, right arm reaches up and over, hook the elbow. And take an inhale, find some length. And exhale, start to twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And final inhale. Exhale, gently release your twist. Both hands come to the right to find that baby push-up. And then gently press yourself back up again, straightening the right leg. Left leg stays bent and just comes to the inside of the right thigh for a revolved Janu Sirsasana. So bring the right hand inside of the leg, slide down to the elbow if it's available. Inhale, reach the left fingertips high, stack left side on top of right, and then exhale, reach up and over. You can grab for that right foot if you want. Wherever you are, that left side keeps opening, the left hip becomes heavy. Gazing under the left arm, you have 3 full breaths. On your next inhale, let the left fingertips bring you all the way up. Left hand plants behind the left glute, shift into your gate latch. Right arm sweeps up and over. Find your really deep back bend, lifting the heart to the ceiling. Notice if you can go a little bit more. You have 1 more inhale. And then exhale, make your way back down again, letting the hips come to the floor and straightening both legs out in front of you. We get 1 round of boat pose to get to our backs. So bend the legs, shift your weight forward a little bit so that you can eventually lay down. And then shift your weight to the tailbone, come to just the toes, then legs to the tabletop position. Reach your arms forward. From here, you can bend or straighten the legs, whatever feels good. We're just here for 5, 4, 3, 2, low boat on 1. Hover the shoulders, hover the feet. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, release to the floor on 1. Head comes down, draw the knees into the chest, give yourself a little hug. You can rock side to side if you need. Then keep hold of your right leg, let your left leg extend long onto the mat. We'll move into our wind reliever here. So flex both feet, start to wrap the arms around the shin, inhale. Now as you exhale, right knee towards the right armpit, imagine you're compressing the side of the body. So we've done a lot of engaging of it, we've done a lot of stretching, but we haven't compressed it as much. So really draw the right leg in as close as you can. Make sure the left hip stays heavy to the floor. You have 3 full rounds of breath to squeeze it a little more on each exhale. Final inhale. Start to bring the leg across the body on your exhale, finding your supine twist. So right leg crosses over, right shoulder stays heavy. You can take the arms into a capital T. You can keep the left hand on the right thigh, whatever feels best. Maybe shift your gaze over to the right and allow your eyes to close. You have about 5 full breaths here. Make everything really heavy, minimal engagement in the body. Gently start to bring the head back to center and then the legs back to center. Draw both knees into the chest for a moment, finding a neutral spine. Then keep hold of the left leg, right leg extends long, setting up for wind reliever on this side. So feet flex, arms wrap around the left shin, take an inhale.
And exhale, find that compression in the side of your body, left knee to the left armpit. Again, creating that deep side body compression. Imagine you're squeezing everything into the side. The right side stays anchored. You have 3 full rounds of breath to squeeze more on each exhale. Final inhale. Start to bring the leg across the body, and then as you exhale, work into your supine twist. Matching your shape of the arms and shape of the legs. Make sure that your left shoulder is heavy and that your gaze might shift over to the left. Let your eyes close and let your body relax. You have 5 full breaths. Let your body get heavier on each exhale. Gently bring the head back to center and then the legs back to center. Draw both knees into your chest for just a moment. Then today we're finding a little extra side bend on our back. So let your legs extend long onto the mat. We're finding a banana shape in our bodies. So the feet will move to the right side of the mat. The hips will move towards the left side, and then the shoulders will move towards the right side. Now, as you do all of this, the front of the body stays flat to the ceiling, so we're very much creating a side bend or a C curve in the body. From here, you can reach the arms behind, grabbing opposite elbows over the head. Then from here, you might cross your left ankle over your right ankle, but only if that allows the left hip to stay on the floor. You should feel a really deep stretch through the whole left side of your body. If you don't, you can increase the angle of your side bend. You can allow your eyes to close here. We have 6 or 7 breaths, a good amount of time. Imagine your left side is constantly becoming heavier. You have about 3 more breaths right here. Gently start to bring everything back to center. So uncrossing the legs, releasing the arms. Once you reach center, just reach your arms back behind you like a good morning stretch. Just finding equal length between sides, maybe noticing how one side feels a lot longer than the other. And take one more inhale here. And exhale, release. We'll move into our side bend on the opposite side. So both feet move towards that left side. The hips move over towards the right side. The shoulders move to the left. Make sure the whole front of your body is still pointing towards the ceiling. Maybe grab opposite elbows behind your head. Maybe cross your right ankle over the left, but make sure the right hip is still heavy on the floor. From here, if you need to increase the angle of your stretch, you can feel free to do that. Otherwise, just let yourself settle in. Imagine the right side is constantly pulling towards the floor. Everything really relaxes and more space is made on the right side. You have about 6 breaths. One more round of breath. Final inhale. And exhale, gently start to release your side bend, bringing everything back into the middle. Reaching the arms back behind you again for that big long stretch. Notice how now both sides of the body probably feel a little bit around the same length. Now gently release that stretch, draw the knees into your chest, find a happy baby for a moment. Outsides or insides of the feet get grabbed. We pull the knees down and around the ribs. Make sure the tailbone's really heavy, so lengthen your spine along the floor. Maybe straighten one leg, then the other for a hamstring and inner thigh stretch. You have 2 more breaths to play in this happy baby. Gently start to draw the knees into the chest one last time, wrapping the arms around the shins, tucking the chin in and up. Take an inhale to gather everything into your midline as well as any extra tension and energy left in the body. And then exhale, relax, find your Shavasana. Let the legs release down by the sides, arms down by the sides. Just let your body start to become very heavy. The eyes closed. You allow everything to release, any extra thoughts, release with an exhale. Let the breath just find a natural rhythm in and out, whether it's through the nose or mouth, whatever feels best. Let the body start to relax, the eyebrows relax, the eyes fall back into the socket. Let the jaw unclench and the tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. In that same way, just work your way down your body, allowing each part of you to relax a little bit more and sink deeper into the floor. And for the next few minutes, just enjoy this Shavasana. If you're feeling ready to start waking up, start by deepening your breath. Maybe start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe rock your head side to side. If it feels good, you can reach your arms back behind you, taking a big good morning stretch like you're doing a yawn. And gently draw your knees into your chest. And keep your eyes closed and your focus internal. And start to make your way to a seat in whatever way feels good for you. Once you arrive in your seat, allow your hands to come to heart center and let your chin bow. And just take a moment to thank yourself for doing something good for your mind and body for an hour out of your morning. The light within me meets, greets, and honors the light within all of you. Namaste. Great work, you guys. Your sides should feel nice and long now after that class. All right, you are all unmuted on my